Folkestone and a winter coastal walk. There's some interesting activity going on in some of the graffitied buildings back there, so I changed route a little bit. So on the sign back there, this is described as the Warren, but it's also signposted from the road as Weir Bay. Whatever you call it, there are some splendid views of the White Cliffs. Now, the last time I filmed here would have been for season 2.2 of the Concrete Coast, where I walked along part of the bay as well as on top of the cliffs. Okay, that's quite a challenging path to get down. On the upper section, what path there is may well have a solid base, but it's got a coating of a clay-like soil which in the slightest damp turns a bit slippy. As do the boulders at the bottom, which are covered mostly in seaweed. Once you get here, it's very much worth it though. Welcome back. I mixed in a few clips and stills from previous visits. Now, I haven't filmed them, but there were signs of people living in some of the scrubland as you access the beach. And also on more than one occasion I've come across the remains of rigid inflatable boats, which indicates that people have been arriving from across the water. That's a problem which has had to be dealt with along this coastline in the past few years. As good as it is to be back on the concrete coast, it has to be said this stretch is looking a little precarious in places. The landscape around here is prone to landslides, so the concrete apron is pushed away by that at the same time as being ate away by the sea. To my memory, going back 40-50 years, it's always looked a bit rough in places here. Well, it's still open for access, but clearly fenced off for safety. And in fact, just behind me there used to be a campsite. I've been planning to go there for a few years, but because it's in the backyard I never got around to it. Unfortunately, the service road used to access it has succumbed to the forces and it's no longer safe to get there. Right, I'm going to try and find a slightly different route back, which will probably join up with the top part of the road which used to lead down to the campsite. This has been a short winter walk from the outskirts of Folkestone to the Warren, taking in sweeping views of East Weir Bay and the White Cliffs of Dover. I have been your avuncular host. Thanks for watching.